Test one, two. 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 Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of The Message. I'm your host, the Novice King. We'll spend this next hour with one purpose in mind, and that one purpose is delivering the message that God is Almighty. Everything that ever was, is now, ever will be, is a piece of God. Everything that ever was, is now, ever will be, was made by God. Everything that ever happened is happening right now, ever will happen, was made to happen by God. God is a master plan for all time and all creation. God is Almighty. Once again, good evening. Sister Connie, thank you for joining us on Facebook. All of you that are joining us online, please hit that like button, hit that share button, and start a watch party. And I ask you to do that because that'll help us to get this message out, help us to deliver the word. It's great that God has blessed us to be together this evening. We will not have the PowerPoint presentation this evening. We did not get a chance to do that today to prepare that, but we will have an illuminating discussion today, and that's going to be based around this book. And let's see if I can pick that up and show it to you. It's called The World's Religions. And it's Erdman's, Erdmans, Handbook to the World's Religions. So we're going to get into a discussion about this book in just a few moments. But before we do that, a little bit of background about the society. As I said, we do not have a PowerPoint introduction this evening. But for those of you that are not familiar with the Society of Knowledge and Interdenominational Ministry. Okay, our members come from various different religious and spiritual backgrounds. We have various different religious and spiritual beliefs. Although we come from different backgrounds, there's one belief that we share. There's one piece of knowledge that we hold in common. And that's the knowledge that there is a being. By no matter what name we may have been taught to call that being. By no matter what name we may have come to know that being. Whether that name be God, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus, Jehovah, nature, the universe. By no matter what name, there is a being that possesses not some of the power, not most of the power, but all of the power. And that is the acknowledgement of the Society of Knowledge. That's the foundation. That there's a being that's almighty. Personally, I call that being God. But it doesn't matter what name you call that being. No matter what name you may have come to know that being. There is an almighty being. I just want to expound a little bit upon that as far as a being. And let's see if I can do something here. What I was trying to do was to mute because I'm getting some feedback. Let's see if I can do this. Still there. I was trying to mute this echo. We'll figure it out sooner or later. As I was saying, as far as a being, the being that I'm talking about is not a being that sits up on the clouds somewhere. When we at the Society of Knowledge talk about a being, what we're talking about is an entity that's composed of all things, that's made up of all things. You're a part of that being, I'm a part of that being. The moon, the stars, the rocks, the cement, the houses, the animals, your thoughts. That's right, even your thoughts, even something that you can't see, like your thoughts. That's a part of that being. everything. Anything
Anything
and
and
everything
everything
that
that
you
you
can
can
conceive
conceive
of
of
is a
is a
part of
part of
that
that
being.
being.
Things
Things
that
that
you
you
can't
can't
even
even
conceive
conceive
of
of
are
are
part
part
of
of
that
that
being.
being.
So
So
when we talk about that being, and I
I
use
use
the
the
the term God because that's the way I was raised, and that's what I normally use. When we speak about that being, when I talk about God, that's what I'm talking about. I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
that being that just envelops, encompasses everything.
everything.
All right. And so
All right.
we are
And
up
so
on
we are up
I
on
see for a second
I
ago
see
we were up on
for a
TikTok.
second ago we were
But
up on
I'm
TikTok.
excited.
But
I'm
I'm
excited
excited.
about this
I'm
technology,
excited about this
and I'm
technology,
excited because
and I'm
we
excited
have some new
because
equipment, Sister
we
Connie.
have some new equipment,
We have some
Sister
new
Connie.
equipment that we
We have
ordered,
some new equipment that we
and
ordered,
hopefully it'll be coming
and
in this
hopefully it'll be
upcoming
coming
week,
in
and
this
it'll make
upcoming
the
week,
experience a lot
and it'll make
better,
the experience
a lot more
better,
enjoyable
a
when
lot
we
more
have
enjoyable
these
when
discussions
we have these
on
discussions
Thursdays
on
during our
Thursdays
religious spiritual
during
study
our religious
sessions,
spiritual
and
study
it'll make our
sessions, and
fellowship
it'll make our
on
fellowship
Sundays.
on
That'll make that
Sundays
even
that'll make
more
that even
enjoyable
more
because
enjoyable
uh,
because
it
uh,
won't keep
it
getting
won't keep getting
interrupted.
interrupted.
It
It
won't
won't
keep
keep
getting
getting
interrupted.
interrupted. So
So I'm excited about
I'm
that.
excited about that.
Things
And
just got
things just
finalized
got finalized
today.
today.
There were
They
uh,
were.
it's an
It's an
organization that we're
organization that we're
joining.
joining.
It's a
It's a
program
program
out
out
here
here,
that
and it
makes equipment
equipment available
available at a very reasonable price, and it makes
makes
internet service,
internet service,
high
high
speed
speed
internet
internet
service
service
available
available
at a
at a
very
very
reasonable
reasonable
price.
price.
And we were accepted into the program. It's a program you have to apply for. We applied
Applied
for
for
it.
it. We
We
got
got
accepted
accepted
into
into
it
it
yesterday,
yesterday, and
and
today
today
we
we
actually
actually
ordered
ordered
the
the
equipment.
equipment.
So
So I'm
very
very
excited
excited
about
about
it.
it.
Uh,
Sister Malan, thank you for joining us.
Sister
Sister
Marlene
Malan uh, joined us this past Father's Day. Her and her husband, Darnell, joined us. We had a Father's Day celebration here, as we always do at my home, and just had a great time, and that That
was
was
this
this
past
past
Sunday,
Sunday,
which was Father's Day, and
and
it
it
was
was
a
a
it was
it
a
was a
Sunday, but
Sunday,
we
but
had
we had
fellowship
fellowship
while
while
we
we
while
while
we
we
were
were
barbecuing
barbecuing
and
and
boiling.
boiling.
We were fellowshipping. All right. Yeah, Sister Belen, we had a
We had a
great
great
time.
time.
Good.
Good,
That's
that's
great.
great.
And
And thank you,
thank
Nandell,
you for the gift, for the
for the
gift.
gift.
Appreciate the
Appreciate
gift.
the gift.
Uh,
Uh,
let's see, it
let's
was
see, it
just
was just
family and
family and
friends.
friends.
And
And
those of you
those of
that
you that
joined us in
joined us in
fellowship,
fellowship,
you saw
you
that
saw that
the
the
words of
words of
inspiration
inspiration
was
was
our
our
Father.
Father.
So it was really fitting, appropriate on Father's Day that our words would be our Father, speaking
Speaking
about the
about the
Lord's
Lord's
Prayer.
Prayer.
Whereas Jesus
Jesus
Christ
Christ
acknowledged
acknowledged
that
that
we
we
all
all
have
have
a common origin, a common beginning, our
our
Father,
Father,
our
our
Father.
Father.
But
But
let
let
me
me
go
go
into our words, not
not
our
our
words,
words,
but
but
into
into
our
our
study
study
tonight. And a shout out to all those, again, those of you that are watching us online. I'm going to invite you and encourage you to please uh, follow us
us
on
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
And I
And I
understand,
understand,
Sister
Sister
Madeline,
Madeline,
that
that
we
we
maybe have some difficulties with our TikTok as far as joining us on
joining us on
TikTok.
TikTok.
But see, we're
But see,
working
we're
with all
working with
that, and
all that,
hopefully
and
there's new
hopefully there's new
equipment that we
equipment
have
that we
coming
have
in
coming in
that'll be
that'll be
cleared up
cleared up
come
come
this
this
upcoming week.
upcoming week.
But again,
But again,
a little bit
the
about the
society
society
before we get
before we get
into our
into our
study
studying
tonight.
tonight.
The
The
society,
society,
as I
we,
said,
as I
we're
said, we're
interdenominational.
interdenominational.
It doesn't
It
matter
doesn't
what
matter
religion
what
you
religion
belong
you
to, what
belong to, what
label you
label you
put on
put on
yourself or
yourself or
somebody's put
somebody's
on you.
put on you.
It doesn't
It
matter
doesn't
if you're
matter if you're
Catholic,
Catholic,
Christian,
Christian,
Buddhist,
Buddhist,
Jewish,
Jewish,
Muslim,
Muslim,
uh,
uh,
atheist.
atheist.
It doesn't
It
matter,
doesn't matter,
agnostic. It doesn't
agnostic. It
matter
doesn't matter
what
what
label
label
you
you
claim
claim,
or what
what
label
label
has
has
been
been
put
put
on
on
you.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And
And
as
as
our
our
name
name
says, the Society of Knowledge, we enjoy,
enjoy,
we are
we
a
are a
society,
society,
we are
we
a
are a
group
group
of
of
people,
people.
and that's what
And that's what
society means,
society
a group
means, a
of
group of
people.
people.
We are a
We are a
group
group
of
of
people
people
that are
that are
bonded
bonded
by,
by,
that
that
are
are
brought
brought
together
together
by
by
knowledge.
knowledge.
And we just enjoy sharing knowledge.
Knowledge.
We
We
enjoy
enjoy
learning.
learning.
We enjoy sharing what we have learned. We
We enjoy
enjoy knowledge. And the
the
greatest
greatest
knowledge
knowledge
that we have attained is
is
the
the
knowledge
knowledge
that
that
there's
there's
an
an
almighty
almighty
being.
being.
There's a thing that possesses all the power there is, all the power, not some of the power, not most of the power, but all of the power. And
And
just
just
put
put
a little twist on that. A
a
lot of
lot of
folks,
folks,
they'll
they'll
talk
talk
about,
about,
they'll say they're
they're
religious,
religious,
you
you
belong
belong
to
to
this
this
religion,
religion,
that
that
religion,
religion,
another
other
religion.
religion.
And they'll say that they believe in God and that God is almighty. But then when you get into a
A
little
little
deeper
deeper
into
in
the
the
discussion,
discussion,
they'll start
start
telling
telling
you
you
things
things
like, well, God
God
is
is
not
not
really
really
almighty.
almighty.
God
God
doesn't
doesn't
control
control
all
all
things.
things.
They'll say that about the God that they worship controls all the good things. And the things that are bad are not controlled by their God. And a lot of them will say, well, the bad things or the things that we consider bad, that those things are
Things are
controlled
controlled
by
by
another
another
entity.
entity.
And a lot of them will say that entity, they'll give that entity a name. They'll say, that's the devil. And so they'll believe that, well, yeah, the good things that's controlled by God, and the
And the
bad
bad
things
things
controlled
controlled
by
by
the
the
devil.
devil.
Well, if that is
Is
indeed
indeed
the
the
case,
case.
then that means their God is not almighty. It's not, I mean, simple. I mean, that's what it's saying. And then when you
When you
start
start
examining
examining
that
that
concept a
concept a
little
little
closer,
closer,
and you
and you
say,
say,
okay,
okay,
well,
well,
your
your
God
God
controls the good things, and the
and the
devil
devil
controls the
controls the
bad
bad
things.
things.
Well, what things are the good things? Then depending upon who
Who
you
you
talk
talk
to,
to,
that
that
definition of
definition of
what's
what's
good
good
is
is
going
going
to
to
change.
change.
See, because I will share with you that there are uh, some people
People
today
today
that are people that are
are
kind,
kind,
open-hearted, and generous, and
generous, and
will do
will
everything
do
they
everything they
can to
can
help
to
you.
help you.
And
And
they've
they've
been
been
raised since
since
they
they
were
were
in
in
their
their
mother's
mother's
womb.
womb.
They've
They've
been
been
raised
raised
in
in
a
a
particular religion. While
while
that
that
baby
baby
was
was
sitting in the
sitting in the
mama's
mama's
stomach,
stomach,
that
that
baby
baby
could
could
hear
hear
the
the
mama
mama
in the place of worship praying. So that
that
baby
baby
was brought up and taught about
about
a
a
particular
particular
God
God
and
and
about a
about a
particular
particular
belief in different
different
rules
rules
and
and
regulations.
regulations.
There are some babies that have been brought
Brought
up
up
to be Muslim, to be
to be
Muslim.
Muslim.
and they're
and they're
good
good
people.
people.
Hardworking,
Hardworking,
not
not
trying
trying
to
to
do
do
no
no
wrong
wrong
to
to
nobody.
nobody.
Good people, and they're living
Living
according to
according to
their
their
holy
holy
book,
book,
the
the
Quran.
Quran.
And
And
some of
some of
them
them
have
have
been
been
taught
taught
that
that
if
if
you
you
do
do
not
not
follow
follow
the
the
rules
rules
and
and
laws
laws
in the
in the
Quran,
Quran,
then you're
then you're
doing
doing
wrong.
wrong.
You're
You're
doing
doing
evil.
evil.
They've been
They've
taught
been
that
taught that
if you do
if you
not
do not
worship
worship
and
and
pledge your
pledge your
allegiance to
allegiance to
Allah,
Allah,
then
then
you're doing
you're doing
wrong.
wrong.
You're
You're
doing
doing
evil.
evil.
And there are
And there's
some
some
babies that have been
babies that have
brought
been
up in
brought up in
their
their
mother's
mother's
wombs
wombs
and
and
being
being
taught to
taught to
be
be
a
a
Christian
Christian
and
and
being
being
taught
taught
that
that
if you
if you
don't
don't
profess and
profess and
accept
accept
Jesus
Jesus
Christ
Christ
as
as
being your
being your
Lord and
Lord and
Savior,
Savior,
then you're
then you're
doing
doing
wrong.
wrong.
And their
And their
God doesn't
God doesn't
control
control
wrong
wrong
things and
things
evil
and evil
things.
things.
So now
So now
here's
here's
things about
things
this
about this
woman.
woman.
So here's a little
So here's
baby
a little baby
that has a desire to just
that
do
has a
the right
desire to
thing.
just do the right thing.
But this one little
But
baby
this one little
has been
baby
taught that the
has been
right thing
taught that
is
the right thing is
being a
being a
Muslim.
Muslim.
This
This
other
other
baby has
baby has
been
been
taught
taught
that
that
the
the
right
right
thing
thing
is
is
being a Christian. This
this
one
one
baby
baby
has
has
been
been
taught
taught
that
that
if you don't practice
practice
Christianity,
Christianity,
that
that
you're
you're
going to
going to
hell,
hell,
and
and
hell
hell
is
is
ruled
ruled
by
by
the
the
devil.
devil.
This
This
other
other
baby
baby
has
has
been
been
taught
taught
that
that
if
if
you
you
don't
don't
practice
practice
Islam,
Islam,
you're
you're
going to
going to
hell.
hell.
The
The
bottom
bottom
line is
line is
that
that
just
just
point blank from
from
what the
what the
teachings are,
teachings are,
that
that
the God
the
that they
God that they
are following
are following
and worshiping
and worshiping
by
by
their
their
own
own
definition
definition
is not
is not
almighty.
almighty.
And
And
I don't knock them.
I don't knock them.
I don't
I
criticize them.
don't criticize them.
People that believe like
People
that,
that believe like that,
I don't criticize
I
them at
don't
all.
criticize them at all.
I don't believe that
I
way.
don't believe that way.
I believe that
I
there's a
believe that
being that
there's a
controls
being that
everything.
controls everything.
And I believe
And
that
I believe that
man's concept
man's concept
of what's right and
of
what's
what's
wrong
right and what's wrong
stems
stems
all the
all the
way
way
back.
back. Just
Give
get
me
an
an understanding.
understanding.
Those
Those
of
of
you
you
that
that
are
are
Christians,
Christians,
and
and
not
not
only
only
Christians,
Christians,
but
but
Muslims,
Muslims,
Jews
Jews
also,
also,
when you read in the
read
first
in the
book
first book
of
of
the
the
Bible, the
Bible, the
Old
Old
Testament, book of
Testament, book of
Genesis,
Genesis,
it talks
it talks
about
about
there was a
there was
period
a
of
period
time
of time
when
when
the
the
Creator,
Creator,
after
after
creating everything,
creating everything,
the Creator
the
said,
Creator said,
"It is good."
"It is good."
The Creator
The
passed
Creator passed
judgment.
judgment.
The Creator
The
said,
Creator said,
I done
I
made
done
the
made the
heavens and the earth, I
heavens
done
and the
made the
earth, I done made
firmament,
the
I done made
firmament, I done
all
made
the creeping
all the
things,
creeping
I done made
things, I done made
man,
man,
and it is
and
good.
it is good.
This ain't nothing about,
This ain't nothing
this is
about,
good and that's
this is good
evil,
and that's evil,
or this is good and
or
that's
this is
bad.
good and
This
that's
is,
bad.
this is good.
It's good.
Everything
Everything
is good.
is good.
Then the scripture
then the
tells
scripture
us
tells us that
man
man was
given
told, given
instructions
instructions
to not
to
eat
not eat
of a certain
of a
tree,
certain tree,
and
and that tree
was not an
was
apple
not an
tree.
apple tree.
Read your
You
Bible.
read
Don't
your
say nothing
Bible, don't
about
say
an
nothing
apple
about an
tree.
apple tree up in there.
Nothing
There's
about
nothing
apple
about
tree.
an apple tree.
It
It
says
says
that
that
man was
man was
instructed
instructed
not to
not
eat
to eat
of the
of the
tree
tree
of
of
knowledge
knowledge
of good
of good
and evil.
and evil.
Don't eat of it.
Don't eat of it.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
That was the
That
instruction.
was the instructions.
You know,
You know,
just leave it alone.
just leave it alone.
But
But
that wasn't
that
in
wasn't
God's
in
master
God's master
plan
plan
that
that
man
man
would
would
leave
leave
it
it
alone.
alone.
Man
Man
ate
ate
of
of
that
that
tree.
tree. And when man ate of the tree, man started judging things. Now, let's get real deep now. Let's get real deep. What's one of the first things that man started judging? Let, let me see. It looks like the internet is acting up on us. All right. Yeah. See, we got it back together again now. All right. I see. I'm getting a message that the internet is unstable. But look at this. Look at this. I'm opening up my Bible here, and I'm looking in the book of Genesis, chapter 3. And oh, look at that. Chapter 3, verse 7. But he got some good stuff in this book. Just read it. Chapter 3, verse 7. It says, "In the eyes of them both were opened." Okay. And what was that symbolic of? When your eyes are open, that means what you've gained some knowledge. Oh, my eyes are open now. I see, I understand. Well, look at verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. So now here it is, God told them, leave that tree alone. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil. See, let's go over that verse because it doesn't say nothing about an apple tree. Look what it says here. Chapter 2, verse 17. But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Now, that's something we expounded on that in the past. Was God lying when he said you're going to die? Because what we read that they ate of the tree and they didn't die. Well, you can get some understanding. What kind of understanding you have? Was it speaking about literally just drop dead? Or was the death of their their innocence? Was it a spiritual death? And I submit to you that yes, they did die because that innocence that they had, that faith, that knowledge that they had of God Almighty, they lost it. You see, look what it says there. I mean, I know you read over this stuff and just run through it. But look what it says here. It says that let's back up. I like backing up. All right. Look in Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. It says, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. See, God already passed judgment. God created everything. Everything. By the sixth day, God had created everything. And God passed judgment on it. And it says not only was it good, it says what? It was very good. But then when we get to chapter 3, after man eats of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, look what man does. Man, look, man. Man looks at, oh, wait a minute, what's that I see down here? Adam looks and says, oh, look what I got here. He looks over at Eve. Oh, look what Eve, what you got there? Oh, wait a minute. We got to cover this stuff up. You see, Adam and Eve have been running around naked all the while. Nothing wrong with it. They're running around buck naked. But the minute they start judging God's work, see, God made them naked. He didn't cover them up with fig leaves when he made them. It was cool with God. They were naked. But then Adam and Eve, after they ate of that tree of knowledge of good and evil, and start judging things, they looked at their own bodies, God's creation, and they judged it to be bad. That they had to cover it up. All right. Eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Judging God's word. And that is the human condition. See, all of us, as far as I know, pass judgment. We pass judgment every day, all day long. That's part of being human. Things happen, don't go our way. We'll say that was bad. People who do things that hurt other people, say that's bad. That's being human. That's what we do. We do pass judgment, what's good and what's evil. And we pass judgment. See that? Everything going, see how I'm bringing all this back together? We pass judgment. We decide what's good and what's evil based upon
our life experiences, if we are raised to be a devout Christian, then praying to Allah is evil. If we've been raised to be a devout Muslim, then praying to Jesus Christ is evil. 2,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, had we been raised to be a devout Jew, then we would have been amongst those people calling for Jesus Christ to be crucified. We would have been one of those people that cursing Christ and calling him a blasphemer. That's true. They were good people, friendly people that were raised in the Jewish religion, that had been taught by the rabbi that this fellow that has come in here and overturned the table of the money changers, and that is called the Pharisees and the Sadducees vipers, and it has told people that, look, you don't have to follow all these rules about washing your hands and all the rest of that. These religious people thought they were doing the right thing by calling for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And Jesus' followers thought them they were doing the wrong thing, that those Jews that were killing them and crucifying them were doing the wrong thing, thought that they were evil. Jesus' followers felt that Judas was evil for turning in Jesus. You see, Jesus received some insight. See, Jesus said, look, put up your sword. He said, yeah, this is evil. These people are coming to grab me and arrest me. Yeah, they're getting ready to crucify me. Yeah, I'm afraid that this cup passed from me. Yeah. But this has to happen. It has to happen. You see, our Father had it planned out this way. Our Father has a master plan. See, Jesus said what? Jesus said, thy will be done. The script that our Father has written will be fulfilled. Again, the God that we talk about here at the Society of Knowledge is the God that makes all things happen. Everything, no matter how we might judge it, makes everything happen. And that brings us, thank you, wife. Thank you for joining us online. All right. And I thank God that my wife is joining us online. So that means that she's doing okay, that they made it safely to their destination. So I thank God for that. That's a blessing. Right? And as I was saying, and let's see who else we have joining us here. Again, everyone that's joined us online, please follow us. If you haven't already followed us on TikTok, follow us. That'll help us bring up the number of followers. We have to get 1,000 followers, and we need 1,000 followers. Help us get that 1,000. And what's so important about that is that there are certain features of TikTok that TikTok will not allow you to use unless you have at least 1,000 followers. So help us hit that 1,000 mark so that we can be able to get this word out to even more people. Now, as I said, tonight, I want to just spend a little time talking to you about this book, Erdman's Handbook to the World's Religions. And, you know, the Society of Knowledge was incorporated in 1979. And we received our charter from the state of Louisiana in 1979. So that makes us, how many years that? This is 2026, 47 years old. 47 years. So, and that's when we were officially chartered. We began before that, but we were officially recognized by the state of Louisiana in 1979. So more than 47 years, we've been delivering the message that there's an almighty being. And when we started delivering that message, that was it. There wasn't anything added extra about it. God is almighty. That was the message. That is the message. But since that period of time, this group of people that we call the Society of Knowledge, we've been tearing those walls down that exist between different religions, tearing those walls down. Those people that say, well, look, I'm a Christian, you Muslim, so I can't talk to you. I got to be your enemy. Or you Jewish, so I got to be your enemy. We've been tearing those walls down to the society. We've been coming together, Christians, Jews, no matter what religion. And one of the things that happened after we start delivering that message that there's an almighty being and that all of us are part of that one being, we start looking a little deeper into the different religions. Trying to learn a little bit more about different religions. And nowadays, in the year 2026, it's so easy to do research and learn. You can go on the internet, and I used to say you can Google things, but nowadays Google is old-fashioned. Nowadays, it's chat. You can hit chat GPT. And now there are other newer AI programs and apps that if you want to learn something, you don't have to go to the library. I remember back in the day when the society first started and I started really doing research and studying different religions. I would have to go to the library. They didn't have, it's hard for some of y'all to understand, but they didn't have internet. Didn't have that. If you want to do some studying, some research, you had to go to the library and go walk through what they call the stacks, big row upon row upon row of bookshelves. Then you go to the card catalog and you look at the card catalog, find out where in the library, the particular book you're looking for, where it is.
And man, it'd be so frustrating, especially if it's raining outside or cold or something, and you go to the library, you go to the card catalog, you find out where the book is, and then you go to the shelf, and then the book is not on the shelf. I was frustrated. Some of y'all don't know about that. But it's so easy nowadays. So easy to just pick up your phone, use your phone, do your research on your phone, right there, wherever you're at. Some people be going to the bathroom, be sitting on the commode and using their phone. Some people be doing stuff like that when they're driving. But it's so easy nowadays. But back in the day, you had books. And one of the books when I first started being a serious student of religions, one of the books that really opened my eyes up is this book, Erdman's Handbook to the World's Religions. And I'm looking at now the first edition of this book, 1982, copyrighted 1982. Hmm. And there are, I wish you could see some of the pictures they have up in there, but it actually talks about religions from around the world. It talks about the development of religion. And then in part two, it talks about ancient religions. And some of the subparts of that are the land of the Aztecs and Incas, America before Columbus, cradle of civilization, the ancient Near East, ancient Egypt, land of the priest king, the cosmic battle, Zoroastrianism, the ancient religions of Greece and Rome, the old gods, religions of Northern Europe, nomads of the steppes. And, just African religions. Let's look and see what it says about African religions here. Hmm. And this is, I'll tell you, if you get your hands on a copy of this, you can go to Amazon. I'm sure somewhere online you can find where they had somebody selling them. Hmm. I'm just gonna read something out here. By far, the largest number of people in southern and central Africa speak Bantu languages. The present Bantu speaking people have developed through migrations and mixings of groups over the centuries, and they have adapted to a number of environments, from rainforest to desert. We concentrate here on the Baluba of southern Zaire, or in some ways typical, also mentioning other Bantu speaking groups, including the Ndembu, the Sotho-Tswana, the Zulu, the Shona, and the Kikuyu. There are other language groups in the area, such as Khoisan and Nilotic. When we use the term African, we include these as well as the Bantu speaking people. African religion is traditional, handed down usually orally from one generation to the next. A child accepts the word of the elders as final. Hmm.
Even though I've had this book or a version of it because I lost a lot of my library in Katrina. But even though I've been exposed to this book for more than 40 years, I can still read through it and see different things in it and learning things from it. But again, I encourage you, if you, and I'm looking, this one here, I see it was $29.95. So I don't know what it is now. If you look online, and it's worth whatever money it is, whatever the cost is, it's worth it. I encourage you to get a copy of it if you're a serious student. All right. We're going to close things out tonight. Uh, and I thank everyone that joined us online. And I see that you still having problems joining us on TikTok. And I'm just going to take a minute to see if I can do anything. Let's see if I can do anything here. Let's see. All right. Well, one thing I see is that yeah, we have the same. Yeah, we have the same problem with TikTok that we didn't have. We don't have equipment strong enough for us to stream through everything that we're trying to do because we're streaming right now on we're streaming right now on Zoom, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're streaming on all those right now. And when I spoke about when I encouraged you to follow us on TikTok, all the different equipment and stuff that we're using right now. We just need more powerful internet, more powerful internet connection, more powerful equipment, which is on order, but we don't have it now. But it is saying once we get to 1,000 followers, it'll be easier for us, to get this message out. Okay? But again, so we're not going to be able to do it this evening, but we're working on it. I invite all of you to our fellowship. That's going to be this coming Sunday. We'll be here online, and we will also be in person in New Orleans. That's 1861 Abundant Street. 1861 Abundant Street. And our fellowship starts at 10 a.m. Central Time. So if you're in the New Orleans area, come on down. Let me shake your hand. Let me say hello. And that's 10 o'clock this coming Sunday. And if you can't make it, join us online. All right, we're going to close things out tonight. I thank all of you that have joined us. I enjoy sharing that information with you about the Society of Knowledge, about who we are, and what we believe in, and what we do. And I enjoy sharing that information with you about Ehrman's Handbook to World Religions. Until we meet again, hopefully this Sunday in fellowship. And if not, this coming Thursday on the message. Until we meet again, May God bless you. And hopefully we'll meet on the street. If you see me, just think, hey, Brother King, I saw you. Saw you online. But give me a shout. Okay, till we meet again, may God Almighty bless you and yours with peace.